Okay, listen, I love you, Cody. I love what you're saying because I'll tell you, I was the exact same situation. I had a partner who just went off and he had the same issues I did. He filed bankruptcy. He got everything wiped off. He could start totally fresh. I've been 7 years behind him because I just stuck it out. I paid I had two debts left. One of them was a personal loan that we had signed on a property, which I tell my students never sign personally for a loan ever, ever, ever. I wrote a check for $100,000 to pay off that loan. And that got me free and clear, but I stuck it out and I earned it all back. And that guy is still struggling to this day. And I'll tell you, so listen,
I would not trade my situation at all because Charles, I needed to feel it, right? I needed to come out on the other side of this because who I was when I made the debt and I made the $1 million, if that hadn't have happened to me, it would have been a worse situation had I not gone through it. And I needed to feel that. And I needed to change the way that I viewed the world. I didn't know the way I needed to view it. I just knew that I was doing it wrong because inside of me, I knew. And so I said, I didn't pay every dollar, but I made deals just because if you don't have resources, you got to be resourceful. Right. And something's better than nothing. And if they agree to it, then they agree to it. And I went through those negotiations. I went through those sleepless nights. I felt that. You asked about the attorney, the accountant. I went to go see an accountant. He told me $600 a tax return to file 8 tax returns for me, $4,800. I walked out of there paying $100 a tax return. You know why? Because I said, you know what? I will bring you $100,000 worth of business if you do my taxes. And the guy was like, how are you going to do that? And I go, I walk into businesses all day long. They all need accountants. And I don't have $5,000 to give you. I don't even have the $800 to give you. So I might even need a payment plan on that. But I will do this. I will go out and generate $100,000 worth of business for you. I guarantee you. And I made these deals all over the place. I had to. Yeah. And at the end of the day, man, like I paid it all back. But here's the thing. Here's why I needed it though, because now I'm not that guy anymore, right? I wasn't the guy that did all this thinking that the money was, never going to stop and that was never going to be. Right now, I'm built like a fortress, man.
It's so cool. So let me tell you the spin on this. Now I pay my accountant like $4,000 to file my taxes every year to save me over $150,000 in taxes.
Absolutely. I gladly stroke the check all day long. All day long, stroke the check, right?
Exactly. Folks, that's where you have to be. That needs to be your mindset.
You need an expensive, and when I say expensive, I don't mean this. I mean, someone that's well paid professionally. You need an expensive attorney. You need an expensive accountant. You need an expensive insurance person. You need a really good banker who can sit down and knows your accounts before you talk about them. And I was like, if you have those things in your life, it's amazing the doors it opens up. The protections
penny wise and pound foolish.
Yep, absolutely.